Oh boy, welcome back sports fans. Mike Kretz here on a fine Tuesday, the day earmarked to meet with CMU coaches and athletes as they look forwards to the week ahead of competition, and there's plenty going on when it comes to CMU. And we're going to start by talking Maverick football program coming off a win against William Jewell just under 2 weeks ago. Of course, one of the major storylines of the game was the play of freshman quarterback Karst Hunter, but of course, it's hard to get recognition as a freshman quarterback for your game management when you're not upright, something Hunter was all game long. He didn't get sacked once against the Cardinals, and that's something the Maverick co-offensive coordinator and offensive line coach Mike Barella says his front line can hang their hat on.
That was one of our goals, every week is keep the quarterback upright and clean. And, stat-wise, we did that this past. And every week's going to be a challenge. And to do that every week, that remains to be seen, but that's the challenge.
Yeah, and it's going to be a challenge going up against New Mexico Highlands, a team that is averaging 2.5 sacks per game through 2 games, most notably 2 sacks last week against Colorado Mines. A 10-point game that ultimately went the Ordigger's way, but it is fair to point out this Highlands team is going to be a tough test for CMU coming into the week with only 1 game under their belt. No doubt we saw a balanced attack in week 1 from CMU, 12 different players coming up with at least 1 reception for a total of 302 yards in the air. How about 31 carry attempts distributed by way of 8 different players, none with more than 7 attempts, and a team total of 271 yards on the ground. I asked Coach Barella if we could expect to get more of a flavor of what this CMU offense is going to look like as far as the rest of the season goes.
Coach, you mentioned wrinkles in your offense we haven't seen yet. I'm sure there's plenty of that, and obviously a game plan goes on what you guys are seeing, but do you think we're going to get a better taste of who the Mavericks are offensively after this week?
That's the goal. That's the goal, is we know what we're capable of, but take that back one step. We know what we want to do and what we want to accomplish week in, week out. And so take that into every game and really, you hear coaches say this all the time, take what they give you. Well, we're really about that here. Every week, yeah, sure, there will be a wrinkle, and some weeks there won't be any wrinkle. It's just back to the basics, and here we go.
Yeah, as for the young men in the trenches, well, some of them aren't so young anymore. Take the redshirt Justin Cobley, redshirt senior, I should say. He got an extra year of eligibility thanks in part to COVID. That's 6 years of football.
I mean, I've been able to handle it throughout all these years because I just love the game that much. Like, my body might be beat up and everything, and I do it for the person next to me. Like, my O-Line is they're like my brothers, so it makes me want to keep playing. And being voted as a captain, that proves to me that my team, they got my back. I'm the guy that they will turn to. I'll get their back. We're a family.
Yeah, a family with one very big RMAC matchup. This is where we find out where CMU stacks up in the Rocky Mountain Pantheon. A high noon showdown coming your way from Las Vegas at noon on the RMAC network. In the meantime, hey, that's all the time we have for sports. I'm Mike Kretz. We'll see you then.